as the 47 governors are not split in that kind of way. We could have other differences, we could have other, party, but it's not on the Ruto Gachagua axis, because even when we are together, we discuss these matters. Not that, of course, I have come out as the governor of Nyeri to protect a son of Nyeri against an onslaught by, when you hit him right, left, center, somebody's got to stand for something. And this is why I stood to support Gachagua. And I know, even within the Council of Governors, there are 1,001 people who silently support him because of what he is going through. Okay. Not really because of who he is, but because of what he is going through. So really, well,
do you think those nuances?
Newspapers must sell. My message is that newspapers must continue selling.
Okay.
And if this be the story that will sell, so that be. But let's wait and see what, we have a few days to go. I think they would do us justice by listening to the vision of every candidate as we articulate. And I do not know whether you are even aware of how the Council of Governor elections are done. We don't ballot.
Okay.
It's consensus. So it's not even that there's going to be this or that or that. It will be consensus. And I do remember, even if I can give you a scenario of what happened in Mombasa, we were on the floor, and we were 3 candidates. And we did haggle until we were finally, when there was almost a stalemate, we were asked to go out. And when we went out, we compromised among the 2 candidates, myself and Governor.
Was there any influence from any other force?
Not really, but I had mentioned that as we were sitting, remember, when we were a new team coming in, the Kenya Kwanza team, and as we sat as the 23 governors, the president himself said, I know, we were 3. There was Wamatinga, there was Matangi, there was myself, there was Governor Igoro, and he humbly requested and said, you, Wamatangi, you are a first-term governor, so you have to let these 2. And then he said, Kahiga, you have Rigathi here. If I too remember his words, he said, you have Rigathi here, why don't you let Kirinyaga also have a position? I said, okay, Your Excellency, I am not satisfied, but...
So there is sometimes influence from those
No,
officers.
he asked me, and when he says, it's a fact, and I said, okay, Your Excellency. Now look at that, I had to sacrifice my ambition that time. And then the man for whom I sacrifice is being, see why.
Yeah.
You understand all these things.
And then the People Daily puts it very correctly.
Yeah.
Ruto DP in battle as Waiguru exits. And Governor Mutahi Kahiga right here is one of those candidates touted to replace and succeed Anne Waiguru as chair of the COG come October. That's when the election...
Can I surprise you?
Yes.
Maybe the deputy president is going to learn today that I'm running.
Through the
He's
papers.
not even aware. Yes, I haven't discussed it with him.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Those are just the dailies. And we'll be back to take a look at the politics playing out in the mountain, because I think that is one of the most interesting things, and it captures Kenya's imagination. But before that, let's talk more about devolution.
Yes.
That's 14 years later. And you are in your 2nd term as governor.
Yes.
You are among those who've seen even a transition between the very first administration that oversaw the rollout of devolution and the second administration that has come in, and the extension and the changes that we are seeing now. What do you think are the biggest gaps 14 years later in as far as devolution is concerned? Are we anywhere near perfecting devolution?
No, I will say no. I will say that we are moving at a snail's pace. As we speak here, we have in excess of about 14 devolved functions that have not been abandoned. They are still held at national level. In other words, we keep taking 2 steps forward and 3 steps backward. There is still a lot of clawing back of gains on devolution, especially in the areas of agriculture, in the areas of water, in the areas of health. These are fully devolved functions, something like health. But look, what are you reading about it, and UHC and all that? Whose dream is UHC? Who is running the show? These are, you would have expected that now that we are in the 3rd cohort of devolution, we would have made more progress if devolution was in the DNA of many of the of the leadership. But unfortunately, we are still operating like really, let's put it this way. National government continues to patronize the counties as if, you know, instead of having a symbiotic relationship where we are a bigger brother, you know, now this is not a bigger brother but a lord. And